So let us continue Nash therapeutic study streak. And one of the important compounds that we are discussing in his leaders in homeopathic therapeutics is magnesium. And we have finished Mag Carb and Mag Mu last time. And let us take up the last magnesium compound that Dr. Nash mentions, and that is magnesium phosphorica. So, one of the first thing that Dr. Nash writes, and it's very important for all of us to know, is that it is one of the best remedies for neuralgia or pain remedies, and that is why Dr. Nash tells that it is Prince of Magnesias. So, when he writes Prince of Magnesias, you have to grasp the essential knowledge which Dr. Nash wants to convey, and that it is one of the top remedies from the magnesium group of compounds, and it can be used as a routine prescription by all the homeopaths in everyday homeopathic practice. So that is the first thing that I want to point out to everyone when you are reading Nash Therapeutics with full vigor. Next is, what are the types of pains which Dr. Nash puts emphasis on? And if you see very clearly, there are around 10 to 12 different types of pains Dr. Nash mentions: sharp, cutting, piercing, stabbing, knife like, shooting, stitching, lightning like, coming and going like belladonna, intermittent in paroxysms, becoming almost intolerable, often rapidly changing place and cramping. And for colic, he says that this remedy, magnesia phosphorica, which is the prince of magnesias, ranks higher than chamomilla and colocynth. So, in all cases where you get stuck up with neuralgic complaints and you don't know what to do, how to do, think of magnesia and it is going to work like a miracle. Now, what he says is very interesting. And in cases of dysmenorrhea, Dr. Nash has employed 55M potency. Now, all through the leaders in homeopathic therapeutics, Dr. Nash mentions vague potencies: 50M, 55M, 60M, or 46M, 40M somewhere. And the reader should question this. How did you get these potencies? And this too, way back in the era when so many pharmacies were not available. So Dr. Nash lays down the protocol himself and he tells that we made a machine, Dr. Santi and Dr. Nash made a machine for potentizing the medicines, and they employed it for themselves. They were not in a position to sell it, but there were just two machines and they always used this machine to potentize and use it all the time. So all the homeopaths, you have to learn one thing: sometimes you will not get potencies from the pharmacies. You have to make use of the potencies that are available with you and employ them by multiplying or potentizing in your own way. This is what we should learn from Dr. Nash. Now, we know that for magnesia phosphorica, there is a peculiar modality which is better by hot application. There is another remedy which is very similar, which is better by hot application, and that is arsenic album. The only difference between MacPhos and arsenic album is that arsenic album will have burning pains, whereas MacPhos will have crampy and neuralgic pains. There is a very fine differentiation between the two, but once you understand, you will be in a better position to prescribe any of the remedies. During painful menstruation, MACPHOS is quicker in action than pulsatilla. Also, it is much better than colophyllum and semicifuga. So we have to know the different remedies that the homeopaths used to employ back in the times when repertories and therapeutics were unknown or unheard of. He compares, just like he compared arsenic and MACPHOS, Dr. Nash now compares semicifuga and MACPHOS. And he tells that semicifuga will mostly help cases of rheumatic character, whereas MACPHOS will have all those of neuralgic character. Also, one interesting thing what Dr. Nash points out is that as soon as the pains begin, there is an neuralgic pain, crampy pain, unbearable pain. But if there is a dysmenorrhea pain in females and there is a flow which begins in the time of menstruation, the pain will cease. The patient will feel slightly better, not totally better, but slightly better. That is where we should pick MACPHOS for prescribing. Also, now Dr. Nash tells us next is that in facial neuralgia, this remedy MACPHOS has made many cures. And in any part of the body, wherever there is neuralgia, MACPHOS is indicated. Now, next is something interesting that comes at an era when MACPHOS were not there. Dr. Nash gives down indications for one, two, three, four remedies or five remedies at times in certain conditions like types of pain, hemorrhages, emaciation, constitution. So he gives a small repertory on its in his materia medica itself, which we can note down elsewhere or refer whenever need be, and he covers topics like pains, hemorrhages, emaciation, constitution right in the center of magnesia phosphorica explanation. So, something that strikes to your mind randomly whenever you are solving any case or whenever you are doing something has a connection with what you are doing. This is what we understand from Dr. Nash's Therapeutics. He writes materia medica, he writes about some remedy, and he gets into the thought about some other thing related to the remedy or a group of remedies, and he mentions about it in the flow, and he makes aware that this is how you should bring out your study of materia medica. And if you have such a knowledge, then you are prepared for emergencies and also to make snapshot prescriptions. If you have such a grasp over the group of remedies for certain indications, small indications, small points worthy of note, diagnostic differences, which is what Dr. Nash tells. If you are able to make sure to note these, then you will achieve the success that is required in homeopathic practice. So that's all from me right now, Homeo Setu. Follow on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp channel, Threads, YouTube, and Twitter. And those who have joined in the end wish to connect back and see what Dr. Nash has told and what is interesting about Nash Therapeutics. How do we derive the maximum benefit from Nash Therapeutic study streak? Go through the session and you will get something interesting which is worth learning for. That's all from me, and stay tuned for interesting learning in 2025 and keep following Homeo Setu till then.